What wizardry? Change grids or design whole new ones at will. Or play master strategy games like The Quest for the Rings or 50 other games. Believe me, the RC2 keyboard is the key to greater challenge.
Available at Minnesota Fats.
There's lots more live on NBC. The Great American Small Dog Float with Bert Hart.
Down in the basement with the VHS. On a scale of 1 to 6, which one is the best? Ninjas, monsters, rock and roll. I got analog blood and a beta soul. Neon Lord with the glug jug handy. Tonight's the night for raviolis for Randy. Raviolis, raviolis for Randy. Raviolis, raviolis for Randy. Mac and me, Munchie and Mandy. Raviolis, raviolis for Randy. Raviolis for Randy tonight.
909-5464. Go get the phone. I said get it, not eat it.
Got it.
What is up? This is intense right now. We are back, dusting off the old Monday blues with some big old pile of pasta right out of the Pastanomicon, right, Joey?
Torn from the pages of the Pastanomicon. The boys are back. It's a ravioli rumble. We have missed you all. Woo! It's hot down in the Mozzarella Mausoleum. Bri, how's everything up there in upstate?
Oh, man, it was pretty intense, actually, a little bit ago. We got some pretty crazy hail, and it thought like we were outside. You know, the kids love thunderstorms, you know, and then lightning struck literally in the house across the street.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh, all right, we got to go inside. What's up, everybody? Everyone in the chat? Everyone's looking good. How's the audio sounding?
Let's take a look in the chat. Oh, yes. Look who is with us. All the greats. Hello, friends. We have missed you, and it's great to spend this Monday evening with all of you. Very good.
All right, excellent. It is, we are looking good. How's the audio, everybody? How's it sounding? This is brand new, using a completely different new setup. Trying it out, seeing how it goes. Hopefully everything's looking good. I can't really tell, but...
I'm looking at this. I love the "Don't be a jabroni, rewind that baloney." From the message to the font to the color scheme, you nailed it, Mr. Neon Lord.
I appreciate
Beautiful.
it. Hypersigil Games says it's bad. What's bad? The audio?
My face.
Well, we need to know what...
You want us louder or quieter?
Where is it?
Kind of static.
staticky.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it has a lot of noise. Brian sounds like a sharp on the high end. There's some fuzz in the audio, but otherwise good audio. Volume isn't a problem. Huh. I wonder why. You're both beautiful.
You're both beautiful. Very good.
I wonder why. I'll have to go back and figure out the audio then. That's weird. Kind of staticky. Like a sharp in the high end. Hold on. I wonder if I can fix. There's like a whatever. Your fan. It might be the fan. I do have a fan. All right, let me turn it off. Joey, tell him a dad joke real quick.
All right. So, oh man, now I usually have these just like to roll off the tongue. Anyways, I don't know. I hope everybody's having a good summer, and that's actually what we're here to talk about. Now, as always, Brian and I never discuss the contents of our lists ahead of time. So tonight, we are going to be talking about summer, the top 6 list of summer. And who knows where we're going to go. And a lot of the fun from this comes from your participation and your tangents in the chat. So fire away. And it looks like we're in good shape, Bri. Now that you turn your fan off, now you just have to sweat to death as we go through this list of summer hits.
Okay. I know. Tonight we watch
a man die of heat stroke for the sake of good audio.
I know. I want it to sound good. Yeah, the volume's good. There's a little distortion from the mic gain. Punishment 90 totally beat me to it. How's that? All right, so let me put my monitor and output. How's that? That doesn't sound. Oh wait. Okay, it sounds pretty bad. I can hear it. Sacrifice.
I think your microphone is too good. See, I have a little Dixie cup with a string that I dip in Mountain Dew and put into my computer. And that seems to work very good.
That is weird. Like, let me try that. No. You know what? I think it might be like in the Discord side. I don't really care. Whatever. Oh, it's bad. It's really bad.
What, you see the bar shooting all over the place and whatnot?
No, so I got it on monitor. So I can hear it. And it's like really, really bad.
Did you use the bent fork to connect to the PC? Yes, that's part of my styling routine as well. Oh boy, now you kicked me off the screen. I'm not even on there anymore.
You'll be back. Let's try this. How's that? Is that any better? I don't think so. Whatever. You just have to deal with it, I guess. So even the mic is hot. Yeah. Alright. So, okay. So let's... Oh, man. It's really
peek
bad.
into how the sausage is made.
Not your Yeti. I don't understand. Like, how does it sound for you, Joey?
You sound fine to me.
Let's try... No, that's not going to work. Well, this isn't good. Okay.
Hollywood, folks. This is what happens in Hollywood.
Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, everybody, how's this sound? Because it sounds really bad. Alright, so let me just put it on monitor off for now. 8. Okay, I can live with an 8. To me, it sounds like it's like a 3, so 8's fine. Yeah. So what do you say, Joey?
So what do we say? Let's get into it. It's summertime.
I'm dying of sweat already. Let me crack this. Okay, so gridlocks. I actually like these a lot. They're from Aldi's. They're not bad. You know, I have a monster downstairs. I went with the grid.
Gridlock. I never even heard of that.
I got hooked on COVID. For some reason, the monitor off really helped. Thank you, Lord Gatewood. I appreciate it. Very nice. Thank you. But, yeah, it's not good. It's not good by any means of the stretch of the word. I don't know. For just some reason, I like it.
What's the tone? What's the tone of the flavor? Are we in Monster Zone, like the green kind of viscous, or more of like the vitamin-y Flintstone taste of a Red Bull?
Yeah, more vitamin-y and more just a punch to the back of the throat. Alright. So, yeah, so I think when I was turning the fan off, Mr. Royale talked about what we're here tonight for. We are here for summertime. And Joey, I wanted to start off before we had all these little, technical difficulties, as everybody always does, it feels like. Not everybody, just us for some reason. What does summer mean to you?
What does summer mean to me? It means country time lemonade and sitting on the porch and telling old tales. No, it's a break from work. It's a time for me to press the reset button, clean out my brain, and get a bunch of writing done. And this summer has been cool because I've been taking it easy. We're not taking any crazy trips. We are just waking up when we want, sitting out by the pool doing cannonballs and eating a lot of ice cream. And then next week, of course, Sunday, I'm leaving for Gen Con, which will be my first big convention, and who knows what's going to happen there.
Yeah, that's very cool.
How about you?
So, it's hard because you live that quasi-child schedule still. So, like, I feel like summer's more impactful for you because, like, to me, it's just it's just hot, So, like, I lost the whimsicalness and the childhood awe of summer. Like, man, like, think about that last day of school, how you think you have a megalith of time between the next time you're going to go to school. 2 months to a kid is everything, right? So it was like, oh, man, like, this is going to be awesome. But then, like, it burns by. Summer goes faster, obviously, than, like a regular school year, obviously, because it's only 2 months. But, man, did it go fast. It was always just insanity. But, like, summertime is like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to encapsulate it in words. Like, summertime as a kid, because it was like, my birthday's in the summer too, so it was like even better. But like, arguably, is summer break better than Christmas?
Is summer? Oh man, that's a great question. Is summer break better than Christmas break? I don't know. I think I like. Man, that's really tough. I think, especially as a New Englander, I think they both have their time and place. One needs to counteract the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's the yin and the yang of the childhood.
I think that's why I'm a New Englander. We have you feel every single season. Every single season is individual. And I know you Texas people, you might not get the snowy winters. Well, I mean, you do sometimes, but it's different, I am a fall guy, I think, at heart. And recently, every summer, by the end of summer, I'm ready for summer to be over just because of the heat. And but you brought up a cool point where, like, for the past, I don't know, I think this is like my 15th year in this profession. Like, I am back to where I started as a kid. Like, I still got to work a little bit, but it's nice to have summer still on that schedule. But yes, it definitely goes a little bit faster as you get older.
It is. Yeah. Do you have any honorable mentions? Like, we're already starting off.
I have an honorable mention, and it's an honorable mention only as we're talking about childhood summers, and a lot of my stuff will be revolving around the late '80s, early '90s. That's what I experienced as a kid. That was my peak. It is the summer mention for me, and this is a personal one. It doesn't make any sense in the context, but it is the 2-hour finale of Twin Peaks. Now, let me explain here. When I was a kid, I didn't watch Twin Peaks. I was too young. It was on late at night, this and that. It was just something you heard about that the adults would talk about at parties. But my father, on the VHS, recorded the last episode of Twin Peaks, which is a complete, fever dream freak out.
Right.
And so we would take the tape over to my neighbor's house. They had this big house, and they finished half of their basement. But it was like liminal space. Like, when you look at the memes of liminal spaces, that's what it looked like. It was sheetrock, brown rug, and like nothing else. And like one of those big, heavy TVs, an Amiga computer with Leisure Suit Larry over on the side. And the other thing that stands out in the basement, it was like 3 pieces of accoutrements. There was the giant, the big heavy grandma TV, the computer desk with the Amiga, and then the Terradome. So this was a great place to hang out. And this was the kid that got both the Genesis and the
Super Nintendo.
Or the Super Nintendo.
Oh, Daywalker.
Yeah, so we would go down there on the rainy days, and we would build forts with sheets, and we would watch the conclusion, the final episode of Twin Peaks over and over again. We had no idea what the show was about, especially the final episode doesn't tell you anything. But it was just, we turn all the lights off and we just scare the hell out of each other watching that. So Twin Peaks will always have this summer tinge to me. I don't know why. That's just a weird thing that I had.
That's pretty cool. So, well, it won't let me log in. It's weird. It's like I can't join chat. Sorry, everybody. I have to log in.
More Gateway Goes Leisure Suit Larry. Yes, that was woo. When you're 10, 11 years old, that's a whole other world.
Yeah.
You feel like you're getting into some trouble with that.
Yeah. My honorable mention is, we've talked about it before, but I mean, nothing says summer like the 4th of July Twilight Zone marathon.
Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, they did it. They did it on New Year's Eve too. So you're like, you get to watch it twice. But like, I don't know, it hit different in the summer, cause like,
Yeah, it did.
cause like
Yeah,
dusk.
I remember we had one of those little TVs in the kitchen. It was like a TV radio. You know those things?
Absolutely.
The little black and white one of the cable box.
Yeah.
And I remember like everybody's asleep. I'm eating like a turkey and cheese sandwich with a slice of lettuce and yellow mustard, watching the ventriloquist dummy one on that little TV.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like that.
You know, that was actually the first time a ventriloquist dummy was used. Or no, wait, no, that was the doll one. Never mind. I go back. The ventriloquist dummy one's awesome too.
Yes.
But like the Talking Tina doll is the first time a doll was like used as like a monster.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat that show, man. That's one for the ages.
Absolutely. It's timeless. They try with like contemporary actors and stuff, but it's the black and white. It's the what you don't see is what makes it eerie.
You know what? I thought about this a lot. What makes Twilight Zone so great is that they're written almost as stage plays. Like you know, it says teleplay written by, and that's really what it was. It bridged like stage production and television episode. You know, it was like the people that were those actors. You know, they did a lot of like stage time before TV, and even like the set design and all that was really cool. A lot of them took place without a lot of different scenes. You know, it was probably 1 to 3 sets that everything would happen on.
Yeah, so I will be playing Neon Lords. I know, not to break it up. What day? Is that? Yeah, Friday on the library, Alexandria Library RPG. Friday night, I will be playing over there. Thanks for reminding me, because this week, for some reason, I'm completely confuzzled. Yeah.
Punishment has a great question. Do you feel a summer connection to any games?
We'll get to it.
And he said Super Mario World, and I would say the same thing.
So, I wasn't a Super Nintendo guy, but we will get to that. That's on my list.
Oh, put a pin in it. All right, very good.
That's what we need. We need a shirt that says "Put a pin in it."
Put a pin in it. Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. All right, so let's get right into the list. We've already introduction.
All right, yeah, let's jump into the list.
Hit me
you
up.
go first.
All right, I'll go first. I don't think I ever really go first. I think Joey's always the put some weight on it. So I'm gonna kick it off with horror art, like horror RPG, horror, like the best horror for the summer, right? Like we're horror guys, you know, not really necessarily first, but horror comes into like that's what we grew up on. So I'm gonna hit with Friday the 13th. I got the whole box here, but part 1, that's where it started. It's the summer horror movie. Like I know Jaws would say would be a close second for like normal people, right? Because 4th of July, like Jaws happens, like
yeah.
But like I'm gonna go with Jason's mom. She's got it going on. It's the quintessential summer camp killer. I mean, it started the genre.
This was almost on my list. It was almost on my list. I did not include Jaws because Jaws, it's like, Jaws is just the summer movie with the shark. I mean, it's become embedded in the fabric of our culture. But for people like us, Friday the 13th is a wonderful addition to the list.
I'd say so. I'd say Friday the 13th resonates more with us as like horror movie guys than Jaws would. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, Jaws has its place. It's good. It's like the summer blockbuster movie. That's like kind of what it kicked off on, I would say. I mean, I could be way wrong, but I would say Jaws was like.
I love Jaws. I love the whole franchise. I especially love as they went on and got weirder and weirder. The one with at the aquarium. I think it's like Jaws 3. I love them all.
Jaws 3D.
And they even got the Narragansett beer now. That it's in the old. They have the retro cans around here.
That's cool.
To emulate that feeling of Jaws.
Yeah, I mean, Hyper Sigil says it's because of the summer camp aspect to it. Absolutely, that's that's
Put it
it.
in the lake. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. What is your number 6? You know,
I brought it up before.
I didn't. Go ahead.
I brought it up before. but I'll say this: I was 12, going on 13.
Okay.
The first time I saw a dead human being.
Yeah, I knew you were. Wow, number 6. I thought it was gonna be number. I thought it was gonna be number 1.
Number six, only because of its poignancy, and I want this to be a happy list. Stand By Me is a very sad movie to me.
Oh well.
As I get older, it just seems to get sadder and sadder, and that filter continues to darken on it as we get older. And like in that movie, like I don't know. Well, I'll stick on the happy part. That is a quintessential coming of age
Kids
summer
on bikes.
movie.
Yeah.
All right, and it's hot. You can just tell in that movie.
Yeah, you can hear like the June bugs and everything.
Yeah, you can hear the June bugs. Everything. All the trails are dusty. It hasn't rained in Castle Rock in weeks.
Yeah.
And it's a great like end of the summer movie because at the end Gordy talks about going to junior high and losing touch with the guys. So it's like right in the middle of summer. It's like that like mid to late July where it's like, all right, I'm into the summer zone, but I'm also fearful of the oncoming.
All right, don't
school
talk
year.
about that's. You can't put a pin in like the end of summer. We're like in summer.
Oh, I know that. That's
No,
what
I know,
I'm
but
saying.
I have like a whole. I have a whole
This
poignant.
is what I'm saying. This is a wonderful movie that shows the how do I put this? The continuum of summer for a young lad.
All right, well, thanks. You ruined my number 1.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Stand By Me?
no. But so, as kids, you resonate with the kids. As you get older, you resonate with the dead body.
Yeah.
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 Dang, I really thought you would have. I honestly, when I was putting the list together, I always think about what you're gonna pick too, and I really thought you would have went Stand By Me higher. I thought that was gonna be your number 1.
When this was originally, I started this list as only movies, and Stand By Me was number 1.
Yeah,
Then as I revised it to encapsulate all summer media experiences, I wanted to start that. Not 6 in terms of it's my lowest. It's just that I'm gonna get the movie out of the way. There.
Right. So that's exactly what I did with my Friday the 13th is number 6. Kick it off with the horror movie that started it all. Right. Like set the tone. Kind of like there's some other things, but yeah, like actually that's my only horror movie on the list. I think that's probably the first time I was like trying to figure out how I could spin. Texas Chainsaw Massacre came up because it's hot, but I don't necessarily know if that's summertime. Like they don't, because it's Texas, but they don't necessarily like, are they on summer break or are they just like, they don't really specifically say why they're like what they're doing. I don't think
while they're driving. I'm going to assume it's summer, just the way that it looks, how it smells.
And
Lord Gatewood brought up a good point, and Lord Gatewood, this was also on yours. Yes, Lost Boys was on my list before I revised my list of just movies. I think Lost Boys captures that boardwalk feel, man. I've never been out to the California boardwalk where it takes place. I went down to the Jersey Shore once in college with the roommate and hung out down there on the boardwalk, man. Woo! That's something else, man. Coney Island, too. I spent a lot of time hanging out in Coney Island. And I think that's the thing. The summer boardwalk feel. Whether it's Jersey, whether it's California, whether it's Maine. I got one in my town. There's just something timeless about the boardwalk. And the shenanigans that go on down there.
Psycho Head Cheese. TCM has got to take place during summer. Everybody's drenched in sweat. Yeah, but isn't that Texas? I mean, I was in Texas for 3 years in El Paso. I mean, that's Texas, but it's really like New Mexico. I gotta go with Independence Day as well. Okay, we'll talk about Punishment 90. Calm down. We'll talk about it, but not necessarily. Well, Independence Day is in the mix, but he's hitting all my numbers. So, yeah. What were we talking about? I got off track.
Boardwalks.
Oh,
Lost Boys.
Like one thing, like I didn't put in like the carnival. I didn't do a single thing about a carnival event. There's like what's more summertime than like the carnies coming in, setting up shop.
That's something that's never died in my town. Like there was like a lull, I think, but it's back. Man, I'm seeing those old posters, old Ray Bradbury posters on telephone poles.
Beautiful
They're still using old screen printed posters. Like the carnival's coming to the Walmart parking lot.
Yep,
Awesome.
we had one. So we have one in our town at the church every June that we go to, and they got kids rides. That was like that's a whole other story. They got kids rides.
Oh my god.
What?
I can't believe I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
I didn't tell you about this the other night. I almost died.
Oh, again? It's a summertime thing. You didn't go to Lake Ronkonkoma, did you?
No. I went on rides. I went on carnival rides.
Oh man, I went on one in June, which was that's a funny story. Kind of funny, I guess. But go ahead, let me hear it.
Well, I'm in New London, Connecticut. We got Ocean Beach, which since I was a kid, it's a giant parking lot. It's the sugar sand. It used to be the spot in the 50s and 60s. You couldn't get near the place. It was so packed. They had a dance hall. They had the waffle cones. We still have the putt golf. We have the 80s arcade that hasn't changed. That's still there. And the carousel and the rides. Maron, I went on the rides. All right, so I went down there with my kids, right? And my wife couldn't make it because she wasn't feeling well. So I brought my kids down there and their cousins. And, of course, my son and his cousin paired up.
Yeah.
And then my daughter is way older than my niece, so she didn't have anybody to go on the big rides with, and I didn't want to go. She goes, Dad, everybody's going on the ride. I can't go by myself. The guy's going to let me on. I said, all right, fine. Just let's go. Which one? And, of course, the dreaded octopus of death, right? So it's got the 8 arms. It's going up and down, and as it's going up and down, the chair spins, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, I know the guy running the ride, right? And he thought he was going to be funny and, give me the VIP.
Yeah.
So this thing went 3 times as long as it was supposed to.
Oh, of
and
course.
I swear to God, he had like a little lever, and every time I came down, he would pull it and whip me, and I'd start spinning around. And I'm looking out. My sister's in the crowd, and there's a bunch of other people from town, and they're all pointing and laughing at me because I'm there. I'm sweating. I'm soaking wet. My daughter's like, Dad, are you going to be okay? I'm white. My hair's all over the place. I look like a Northern troll. And the guy kept on going, and he wouldn't stop. It was purgatory. It was horrible. He stops the ride. I said, that's it. Get your stuff. We're going in the car. Daddy's done. Daddy's done. I can't do the rides anymore. Oh, my God.
My story is nowhere near that, so I don't even know if I can tell it after that. I should have went first.
Go ahead. I want to hear
No,
it.
it's just funny. So, oh, my God. So Wesley talks about that carnival all year. That's, like, his thing, because they have this dragon ride. You can sit inside the dragon. You could spin it. And then usually it's a bunch of kids, they all get together, and, like, they go in it together. Well, like, there was, like, nobody there. We went early, and so, like, I'm getting him in to go by himself, and the guy's like, well, you gonna get in? And I'm like, well, I don't have a ticket. He's like, I don't care. Just, like, let me ride in it. So, of course, like me in there, I'm, like, spinning it wicked hard, and we're just, like, flying around the thing. But, yeah, it was just funny, because, like, the carny, like, you could just see in his face that guy, like, that he just did not care about the world. He just get on the damn ride. So, I mean, see, that story sucks now compared. Yours is awesome. Yours reminds me, actually, of that WHPA game we played with the carnival.
With the Gravitron.
Yeah, the Gravitron. Reminded me of the Gravitron.
Yep.
Speaking of WHPA, we do have a live play WHPA on the books. Do you remember the date?
We do. Tell me about that.
I don't remember the date.
Let me look.
I put it on Post-it notes, and
You
then
didn't even know we had this tonight.
I know.
We got to get our stuff together. So as I'm looking, the carnival. I'm glad it's still a thing. I'm really glad it's still a thing, and that it's back. And it's still as scary as ever, even for an adult. I'm not joking. One of the rides was shut down when I was there at the beach because they were hosing it down. Somebody upchucked. It was a terrible ride. It was the basically it's a rocket. So it's just 2 rocket cages that just spin around, and they spin themselves. The capsules spin, and they had to press pause because somebody puked all over it, just like the old days.
Yeah, so I remember as a kid there was like a fun house, like it was pretty much like a, they built up this fun house, and then waiting in line there was a part where you go up to the second floor of this fun house and there's bars, and there's like a kid holding on to the bar screaming for his parents because he can't get out, and like the dad
Yeah.
And then I was like, dang, like, am I really going to do this? Like, my dad's like, obviously, like, just go. Like, who cares? But, yeah, like, the carnival. So, like, the two things. So, like, you got, like, I don't know. Does it ever do the carnival? That space of a carnival where the light and the darkness hit and you hear, like, the sounds of excitement. And then the lights dim down to what's behind the dark. I feel like It would do something like that, like lure the kids into the darkness of behind a carnival.
Somebody brought up who I'm trying to figure out who it was in the chat about Something Wicked.
It was
favorite book.
Yeah, Something Wicked. The book, I know, like it's technically not one of the 3 books I've read, but I'll pretend like I didn't read it just for the joke. So Something Wicked obviously is like that movie's pretty like not as good as the book. The book is killer.
So you've read that book? I
am very, very read, and when it comes to Ray Bradbury, that's like my guy.
Well, I'm glad you told me that because I picked you up a copy the other day just in case you hadn't read it.
So I don't own a copy. I would like to reread it, so that's perfect.
Okay, good. I'll send that to you.
And then it reminds me also, I know we're stuck on carnivals for some reason, and I can't believe I didn't think of it till now. Are You Afraid of the Dark episode where the kid goes into the fun house and they dare him to steal the cigar off of the clown?
Yeah, dude. Yes.
And then like all of a sudden like he goes home and he like smells cigar, sees like smoke billowing up from behind like the door and stuff. Oh, beautiful. Are You Afraid of the Dark is one of the best shows ever.
That constitutes a summer hit too. I remember getting it, like sitting in it, like getting out of the pool, wrapped in a towel with the AC blasting, watching that, shivering. I loved it.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
Oh man, so my number 5, I brought props, baby. I brought props. When you think of summer, you better be thinking about the Super Soaker.
Oh, here we go. Let me see it.
Oh, this is just a new one though. It's not.
Is it really?
Yeah,
they did a nice job.
They did. So like, this doesn't come off anymore. You just feel here. But man, like, does this? I mean, every day we're out there squirting. I mean, I send pictures to you all the time. We're out there.
Yeah.
We got the bucket. We got the squirt guns, water balloons, like water play. Right? Water play is probably not the best word. But like,
I understand. You're playing anything with water.
Yeah. So like we had a slip and slide as a kid. I never slipped and I never slided. I just laid on it pretty much, right? And then we got a pool. Like, I'm sure you had a pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A pool is like a must-have as a kid. We don't have there's a Super Soaker mutant. Yeah, we do have there is a Super Soaker mutant in Neon Lords. You are 100% correct. And I got the Oozinator. Oozinator, I need another one to use because, like, I'm always outside. And I'm like, man, should I go just bust out the Oozinator and Oozinate them? I got, like, an extra refill pack, too.
You're making me, like, rethink my list now with that Super Soaker. That is such an iconic piece of summer history.
Exactly. So, like, because, like, we talk about movies, we talk about games, but, like, as a kid, you were outside. I know you were too. We were outside more because I mean it didn't snow.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you know, there's no snow. Even though snow play, like playing in the snow as a kid, that's like a whole nother.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. But like the fact of like Super Soakers, like water balloons, like we were saying, like just all that stuff, man. Like that was like that summer to me is like. Playing outside, you know, you get like the 5-gallon bucket, and then you got like the old school like take the plastic cap off, you see the bubbles come up, and then like I don't know, it's just crazy. It's really hard to.
Interesting, the neighborhood infantry or the neighborhood artillery, like you'd have the kid with that Super Soaker.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you'd have the other kid who had to go above and beyond everybody.
Had the backpack one.
The backpack one, or the double barrel blue one, or the triple barrel blue one. It would just go nuts and nuts. And that was the kid that always had the new pair of Reebok pumps.
Yep.
And you had like the heavy artillery kid, where it was just the tube that you would draw out and blast. Now look, these days these things are everywhere. But like back then, you had your team. You had a specific. Each kid had their specific weapon. You had your super soaker, your rich kid super soaker. Then you had the tube blaster, and then I was always the Entertech guy.
Oh, batteries!
Huge fan of the LJN Entertech line of the neon AK-47. What were they? They were.
It was a Mac 10 or Mac 11.
Mac 10, the Tech 9, the Mac 10, the Tech 9, the pistol and the shotgun, and with the banana clip, and they were like spray painted, all the best colors. Like they were green and neon green and orange. They had like the yellow and blue, and they had batteries. They're actually, a lot of them are the refashioned Rambo water guns too. Those were great. Yep.
Yeah, I had one. I had one.
Yeah.
It took 6 batteries. They went into the pistol grip like a clip kinda. Yeah, it was like orange. No, it was blue and yellow. I had one. It was awesome. And just the sound of the motor, like the that reminded me of Cloak and Dagger when he's got like the ink gun.
Yes. Which is on my list to watch this week. I really want to get back on Cloak and Dagger.
I love that movie.
Yep. Yeah, so water guns, they're great. My favorite water gun of all time was the Rambo rocket launcher. I had that one. Not
nice.
very efficient. It was a giant water gun that just shot one like little electric spray. But man, it looked cool.
Yeah. Even like the quintessential clear colored plastic mold of those guns are still
raw.
No, and they still have them. Like we got every squirt gun in the world. We have the like one that you hook up and it's like a sentry gun that goes around and shoots, and you can shoot the targets. Like the kids are okay with that, but they like have a blast with the 99-cent squirt gun over like the $20 squirt guns.
I agree. And I'll tell anybody who's in the chat who watches this, do yourself a favor, even as an adult. Go to the dollar store and get one of those clear pistols that Brian's talking about. Fill it up, and you will feel like a champion. And I'll tell you what, they're annoying as hell, and they can get you pretty wet even though they're little. My kids love them.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
We had an arsenal like a couple weeks ago. It was like we had ninja smoke bombs, water balloons, and squirt guns. It was intense out there. Back when we could.
My mind was blown. My mind was blown the first time I ever saw the water grenade, where it was like it actually had the pineapple ripples on it. Remember those?
They still make them. That's what we get. Have you seen water balloon technology now?
I do. The one where you tie it into you screw it in, and it has all the hoses, the little hoses that fill them up for you.
Yeah.
You just put it in a bucket.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
That person is a genius.
That's what I say. I bought. We've had to have thrown 1,000 this summer. We like went crazy with them. Like they're the best thing that's ever happened. Especially because like as a kid I could never tie a balloon, so like I was out of the water balloon game, unfortunately. But yeah.
So
all right.
I want to send a big thank you out to Lonnie Johnson, the inventor of the Super Soaker.
Oh, absolutely.
Lonnie, the African American gentleman who works include U.S. Air Force term of service and a 12-year stint at NASA.
That's where he invented Yep. Where he invented the Super Soaker was at NASA for like.
He's made some incredible stuff. He's had quite a career.
Those guys are insane. Like how they came up with a lot of that stuff. It's so awesome. Like what a job, you know. And then all of a sudden, like you got like a real job at like NASA and stuff, and it's like, well, I'm gonna make a.
This is the one that makes you $1 billion.
Yeah, and it's like, and the Super Soaker is. I mean, I think it's the greatest squirt gun ever made.
Over 1 billion sales over its lifetime.
Yeah, I think Hasbro owns it now, though, don't they? They own the Super Soaker line.
I'm not sure. We'll have to ask our friend.
I'm pretty sure they do because he worked on a Super Soaker. I want to say the Oozinator is a Super Soaker.
It's from the same family.
I think so. I have a Queasy Bake Oven back there too. I gotta fire up.
So what's your number 5?
That was my 5
So that
Super
was your number
Soaker.
5.
So what's your number 5?
Mine. This is a broad one, and I don't want to get us in the weeds here because it's gonna a lot of conversation. I'm just gonna throw this out there in general, which doesn't exist anymore. I don't care what you say. I had a whole conversation with my kids. My wife and I gave our kids a presentation on this today. The 1988 to like 1994 summer blockbuster.
Yeah, we could talk about it. That's my number 4.
The summer blockbuster?
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into it. 1989, you had Batman. And I will always remember that summer. The Batman summer was something special. I had a Joker t-shirt. I went immediately after the movie and got the action figures. You know, like the gold. They had the gold background. A lot of them were reworked Superpowers figures. Man,
yeah.
It was just... And then I remember like a couple summers after that, I was playing Little League. My grandfather pulled up in the Lincoln, and he had 3 Dick Tracy figures for me. I still love Dick Tracy figures. I know you haven't seen it, right?
What, Dick? No, I've never seen the movie, but I'm well aware of the figures. Yes.
Yeah, but like blockbusters like that they were made for kids, and it was neat because it was all rooted in like 1940s.
Well, that's why. Yeah, like I had zero interest in Dick Tracy. I
loved it. I loved the colors. I listen. Everything for me was the action figure before the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I cared more about the action figure than the movie. It came second. Like I didn't even need to see Dick Tracy. I just loved the figure so much, the way Playmates made him. But I digress. You had Robin Hood. That was another one. Robin Hood was awesome when that came out.
Yeah, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. What was that a summer blockbuster? So actually, I have a funny. So Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
C2.
I remember going to Hills. Did you ever have a Hills department store?
No, we didn't have Hills.
So I remember Hills, going as a kid back to the toy department, and a couple girls. There was an end cap of Robin Hood. Well, I almost said Men in Tights. Prince of Thieves figures, and they were going crazy to grab the Christian Slater ones.
Oh, Will. What's his name? Yes. Like Will.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, okay, interesting. So, Bryan Adams' song of the summer then, right? That year?
You know it's true.
Everything I do it for you. Yeah, so, that's interesting. I never thought of Robin Hood Men in Tights. So, what's your go-to summer blockbuster movie? Well, first of all, before we get to that, I know we're getting in the weeds. What do you define the time frame for a summer blockbuster? Because my movie, I saw it. Okay, so I won't get into that. What is your time, like, from what time to what time?
When you're out of school. Summer is when you're out of school. I don't care what the calendar says. Summer is when you're out of school.
Right. So what's first? Memorial Day?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to get out, we still get out around the 14th to 15th.
So generally, I would say they would say Memorial Day to Labor Day is like the summer blockbuster. End of June, end of July. Yeah. No, end of July. Are you crazy? You still got August, baby.
I didn't say end of July.
No, Punishment 90 is.
Punishment. No, like August. It goes up to the time that you're still getting ready for school. But as soon as school comes, summer's over. I don't care.
Absolutely. So with that being said, so what is your go-to, what defines the summer blockbuster for you?
Media frenzy. Promotional insanity.
Well, I meant movie-wise. Like, what title? When someone says summer blockbuster, what's the title you go to? Oh, 89, Batman 89? Really?
Yeah, 89
even more than, Jurassic Park and Independence Day?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't like a real dinosaur guy. I like Jurassic Park. It was a great cinematic experience. And Independence Day was cool. I liked it, but nothing beat the frenzy. Because it's more than just the movie. It was the cloud around it.
Oh,
it was just everybody wrapped up.
Yeah, it was Batman Fever. 89 was Batman Fever. Absolutely.
That's the thing, Brian. You said it. It's the movie with the fever attached to it.
Yeah. You know, like, Independence Day was huge. Massive movie. It was definitely a summer blockbuster. But there wasn't the frenzy involved.
Right.
Interesting take. So the problem I have is my movie came out March 22nd, 1991. So it doesn't necessarily constitute as a summer blockbuster. With that being said, we saw it at the second-rate theater, so I didn't see it until summertime, right?
Yep.
So, but it changed my life. More than the original. I've talked about it all the time. We need to know the secret of the ooze, right? TMNT
okay. You know what?
2.
I need to go back to that one. I really do.
I actually have the Ninja Rap VHS compendium music video to go with it too. I should have grabbed it.
That's Vanilla Ice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so it's not necessarily what people would say as a summer blockbuster but it was like, to me, it was everything, right? It was the movie that changed it all. Because, like, I like the original. The original's awesome. What are they talking about in there? Father Goose. Anyway. So, yeah. But nothing, frenzy-wise, I cannot think of a movie that beats Batman 89 with frenzy.
You know that Batman 2, despite it being like a Christmas movie, was a summer blockbuster?
Oh, well, there's like a lot of controversy behind that. That there was like a Sally Jesse Raphael, out of all the ones to pick, a Donahue style expose where they had like hired kids come on and bash that movie. Did you ever see that?
No, I'll have to look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. It's interesting because there was a lot of backlash on how violent and dark Part 2 was. There was huge backlash on it. And McDonald's got a lot of flack for the toys.
What is punishment? Oh, yeah. Okay. Punishment is saying T2. Absolutely.
It doesn't. So, 89 Batman, I don't know. No, I don't. I say 89 Batman was bigger than T2. With that being said, Terminator 2 is one of my top all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, I think we're talking about two different. I mean, yes, both are excellent movies. I would probably say I clearly love T2 better than the original Batman, but the summer experience, the frenzy of it was big. Although, T2 did have a taste of that with You Could Be Mine.
What is that? You Could Be Mine. Is that the Guns N' Roses? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was everywhere.
I mean, but
you know what though, and I know you and I have talked about this a lot, and I had them, but I wasn't blown away by the Terminator figures. I had almost all of them, but there was something lacking in them.
Well, you had to get the BioFlesh Regenerator. That was where it was at.
That was the peak there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I even have a Terminator. I'm looking at all my figures on the wall. I don't have a Terminator. I'll have to get one. I'll have to get a carded Terminator put up there. I'm sure they're pretty cheap.
My favorite one was the one that had like a thing in his arm and like a metal bolt would come out of his fist. And the blow-off skin one is cool too.
Blow-off skin's awesome. Like anything resembling a Freddy Krueger Wolverine weapon was always good in the 90s.
Lord Gatewood, the Gate is a Ravioli Hall of Famer.
Yeah, the Gate.
There's a couple of things that will come up in every episode of Raviolis for Randy, and the Gate is certainly one of them. We put that up on our mantle of fame.
So that's another.
I call it umbrella movie.
We have to do the Ravies. Like we'll do
it. Wonderful idea.
We'll do an awards ceremony and have like the definitive Ravi list.
I love that idea.
Yeah, the Ravies. How stupid is that? Like, I love it.
You just struck gold, my man.
Yeah,
Put on
so
your prospector hat, get your pick. You just hit oil.
The Keep is a very interesting movie and very like underrated and misunderstood. So like that, I mean, we can
and RPG
and a strange TSR adventure for some reason. I don't know how that happened. Like, I'd love to know the details behind that. Do the Ravies. That would be awesome. Oh, it's going to happen. Ravies are going to happen.
Yeah, it's happening now, man. It's happening.
All right.
What's your, we can go on the summer blockbuster forever. What's your next one?
One of these bad boys, right?
Boy, Bri, I'm going to press pause for a second. It's good to be back.
Oh, absolutely. We need to figure out our lives, kick each other in the derriere, as they say, and we need to do raviolis more often. Like we were saying, we were hot, we were on fire, we were doing every other week. We had a ravioli. We were up to season 2, and now this is like literally the 4th episode of season 2.
But we've been working a lot. We've been writing a lot.
Yeah, folks, we do have a lot.
We've been resting on our laurels. Brian and I, we're very happy to say we're working on it. We got a couple of irons in the fire, a couple of fun projects that we're working on out of, like we had call them passion projects that have great potential. Then we're looking to expand a little bit and get involved with some other brands and spreading our wings a little bit. So we're going to have a lot of cool news for you very soon about some of the projects that he and I work on during the week.
Yep, and I mean, we can always talk about Weird Warriors because that is our...
Weird Warriors is our ongoing project that will eventually come to fruition.
Yeah, I love I love it. I go back and I read our setup for Weird Warriors, and I just get super excited for it. Like I think about like the spaceships, like Bucky O'Hare style spaceships that they come in. All right, well
let's tell the crowd. If you don't know, Weird Warriors is a trading card based role playing game that Brian and I are working on. That we've been working on for about 2 years. And it's a trading card based game. So basically the idea is you can go to the store. This is the feel. Obviously, I don't know. We're going to get into every gas station in the United States, but you get a pack of cards out of our lot of trading cards. You open it up. In that, you get a character, a map, equipment, treasure, and monsters. And you can play a solo dungeon or play with friends as you build more and more cards. So we have character classes, rules, everything. And we're just slowly working on that.
Yeah, simple D6 pool dice system that we love so much. Really, kind of stems off of the WHPA style. So, if you like the simplicity of WHPA with a little bit more Neon Lords-ish added on top of it, it's a... Put it. You cannot do a stick of gum anymore. You can't. Which,
believe me, we've looked into this, Gore Big. We've looked into this.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to this. Father Goose sent me an amazing game that I love. And I think fans of this show will like this as well. Where Shadows Fall, a modern fantasy horror game for DCC. He just put the link to a Kickstart reminder here. Let me go pull that up.
While you do that, Hypersigil asked... Oh, go ahead. Internet's fast. So
click on that link. It is awesome. I can't wait. Who's illustrating the cards? Brian, I'm going to leave that to you.
So right now we actually have the back of the cards already, and Lukas Kowalski, of course. I mean, I work with 2 guys essentially, which I like to branch out. Obviously, we like to branch out, but what encompasses Lukas is everything. He's my favorite, So you can't beat him. He's a fantastic guy. He's an avid Mad Balls collector. So why wouldn't we?
Yeah, this has a lot of shades of Mad Balls, Muscle Men,
Garbage
Monster
Pail
in My
Kids.
Pocket kind of thing.
Realistically, it's less Garbage Pail Kids and more Mighty Max, Monsters in My Pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is fantastic. With that being said, so now I can get into my number 3 is The Rental, right? This is not a blockbuster. This is Brainbuster video for Killer Pinata, but I used it as a prop, right? So, and I'm not a huge Blockbuster fan. I don't have rose shaded glasses for it. I hate Blockbuster. They killed the mom and pop. My shop was Video Loft. I always talk about Video Loft. Go to episode 2, and you can hear me literally probably go on about an hour and a half rant about how much I love it. But when I brought this up, the video rental thing, because like you were a kid, your parents. I mean, my mom was a teacher, you know, so she was home, or she was teaching summer school, so she had to figure out how to entertain us, right? So I rented. I got to ride my bike or skateboard when I finally was like a skateboarding, and go down to Video King was closer than Video Loft, and I would rent a lot of games. That's where like we rented a lot of movies, but a lot of Sega games, a lot of Genesis games. Like Earthworm Jim is my summer. Earthworm Jim and Lethal Enforcers. Like you ever play Lethal Enforcers? It's like
Lethal Enforcers a gun game?
It is a light gun game. Yep. So Grandpa Billy had the light gun, had a Lethal Enforcers. Probably I don't even know where it is now, but he had a Lethal Enforcers, and for some reason like we had to go over there, like we had to spend the night there, and like I beat the crap out of that, and then but I would always rent Earthworm Jim, and I rented it for that one too, and I'd always get stuck in like the underwater level when you're in the like the bubble ship, and you would bounce around and eventually break.
Lethal Enforcers? I never got that far in that.
Lethal Enforcers 1 is really good, but since he's like Grandpa Billy, like my grandfather obviously, Grandpa Billy was into Wild West. Lethal Enforcers 2
that's number 2.
Yep, is a Wild West one, so he had to get the gun for 1 to get to play 2.
Oh man, there are playthroughs on YouTube. I got to check that out.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I think the arcade I was talking about at the beach still has Lethal Enforcers, but it might be over in the corner.
Definitely an interesting one to play if you like light gun rail games. It's very cool. Yep. Man, we are. Oh, my pile's out of order. I'll put that back. Okay, so what's your number 3, Mr. Royale?
My number 3, not to be redundant, but Batman the TV show.
Okay, so Adam West Batman?
Yep, Adam West Batman. Close to my heart. That was always on in syndication during the summer. And if it was a rainy day, or if we had enough of being outside, he'd come in for lunch. It was always come on around 10:30 or 11 in my neck of the woods. So a nice little time. Like you might be in between breakfast and going outside, maybe getting dressed. And it was just always a ritual to watch an episode of the Adam West Batman in the summer. Like I said, you finish your cereal. Your friends are getting their bikes ready. But that in-between time, right before you go outside, I'd watch an episode of Batman. And just the rogues gallery, man, the bad guys, and that just show was so special. You never knew which villain you were going to get that morning, and it was always a treat. Always a treat. Like Vincent Price is Egghead, and King, like the weird ones, like King Tut. And then you had Gershon. What's his name? Frank Gershon is the Riddler. Mm-hmm. And like he was crazy in real life. Burgess Meredith. Like they were just gems. Like, oh man, and then when they were walking up the side of the building, Sammy Davis Jr. would pop out of a window or something like that. Like, love that stuff, man. That's the summer. The Batman '66. That is my summer jam show and ritual of mine.
That's like I always like. I'm not a huge like '60s '70s guy, but Batman '66 is like one of those exceptions. Like I love that show. It's like it was campy on purpose. They got it. They actually like got it, and it's like so awesome. And then it makes for great memes now. Like some of the stuff that like they say.
Oh yeah. And I love the traps. There was always good countdown traps.
Yeah, I mean it's a treasure trove for like role playing games for sure. So
Absolutely.
Lord Gatewood talked about his Vulcan Video, I Love Video, famous for having everything else that Blockbuster didn't carry, huge selection. But like he jumps right into like Salo, like I'm not renting Salo as a kid. Like I mean I probably wouldn't, but like we talked about Salo when we in the grind. Was it Grindhouse? No, it couldn't have been Grindhouse. Maybe Salo 120 Days in Sodom. It's that like I don't think you've ever watched it.
No.
It's one of those hardcore underground movie. Not necessarily hardcore underground because it gets worse than Salo. Salo is actually pretty light compared to some stuff. But it's like Cannibal Holocaust, thoroughly messed up. Yeah. It's like all those messed up movies like Men Behind the Sun. is like about like the Chinese, what they did to the Japanese or the Chinese? Oh, what the Japanese did to the Chinese during World War II. They did what the Germans were doing. No one ever like talks about that part of it.
Wow.
They like did some awful experiments to the Chinese people. It's horrible. And that movie's insanely bad. Yeah. So we'll get off of the awful movies. Yeah. Yeah, Japanese. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right.
Good next one.
Number 2. So I did a lot of summer feels, right? I kicked it off with a horror movie that has the summer vibe. It invented the summer vibe. Talked about Super Soakers and rentals. And then I had to do at least one movie about summer that takes place in the summer. Like 3 brothers go to their grandpa's house in the summer. And we're talking about 3 Ninjas, baby. Like this movie.
Oh, yeah.
What year did this even come out? I was probably too old to even enjoy it. 85 minutes. What a movie. You pack all that into
not even 90. They were able to get it all done in 85. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, it is like one of the best. Oh man, this is a Blockbuster one too. How embarrassing. I just talked all that shit and now I have a Blockbuster 3 Ninjas. It says crosses Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Home Alone. That is very accurate. That's why I love it so much. It is a blend of two of my biggest loves. Home Alone and Ninja Turtles. Like 3 Ninjas.
And the color, I remember the case well. That's just great.
Oh yeah,
neon
like
orange.
And then like
orange and purple. Is it purple? Is the
it's
the
like
purple?
it's I know you're on a crappy camera. For me it's a pink. But like on the shelf I got 3 Ninjas and Surf Ninjas right next to each other, and then Surf Nazis Must Die on the other side.
I just love that color scheme right there.
Yeah, oh yeah, fantastic color scheme. Everything about it bleeds 90s. Yep. You know what? I think I'm even going to get a 3 Ninjas tattoo.
Wow. That's bold.
I'm going to get the 3 masks.
Very nice. Much respect.
Yeah, I think I think I'm going to do that. I'm inspired. I'm inspired
to watch that movie this summer.
So 1 is awesome, and 2 hits the Surf Nazis Must Die. You got Dookie Fly Swatter in one of his greatest movies ever made. I love Surf Nazis. Anyway, so number 2 hits. They go to Japan. So it's that like we talked about in one of the episodes, like movies that part 2s go to Japan, like Toxic Avenger 2 and everything. Anyway, so we did 3 Ninjas and Surf Ninjas double feature with the kids. They loved it. Absolutely. So I wanted to do Surf Ninjas, but there's a school scene, and because I love Rob Schneider in it, and like Surf Ninjas, and then the Game Gear controls what's going on, like a total product placement. Have you ever seen Surf Ninjas?
No, I haven't.
Leslie Nielsen is the bad guy. He's like a cybernetic with like a.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
Big Leslie Nielsen fan.
Oh, then you gotta watch Surf Ninjas. It is absolutely insane. Like there's the part in the beginning where because like the kid is like a prince of like a prince that was taken to America when his country. Yeah, so there's ninjas crawl like scaling the walls of the school to try to get him, but they're in like bright colored camouflage, like I know. Punishment 90. Go watch the episode of the sequels because I talk about all the ones that go to Japan. Like we talked about Karate Kid. Yeah, it was a thing. I talk about all the movies that go to Japan. So 3 Ninjas is my number 2 because. Not only is it one of my favorite movies of all time, it does fall within the. They do go to their father or grandfather's house in the summers. Like, I had to look it up just to double check, but yeah. So every summer they do go to Egg Shen's house.
My number 2 is something that is burned into my head, pardon the pun, and will always stay there. I think it's a near perfect short story horror piece. The Raft from Creepshow.
Oh, yeah. I am familiar with this.
Is everybody familiar with The Raft from Creepshow? That one scarred me. Perfect slice of summer. Everybody's hanging out at the beach, having a good time, cracking a couple cold ones. You swim out there, you mess with the ladies, ha, everything's fine, and then you're stuck. You're stuck in this watering hole, and this sludge is coming towards you. It starts ripping off your friend's skin. Did you know those are plastic garbage bags?
Oh, I believe it.
I think that come across.
I think the Blob did the same thing with clear bags.
Boy, the Blob is something I got to get back to.
The 80s remake.
The 80s remake. Boy, that cover. God. Greatest VHS covers of all time.
Absolutely. I didn't mean to...
I'm trying to remember. I'll look it up for everybody. If the Raft was Creepshow 2?
2. I think it's 2. I want to say it's 2.
Yeah, that's the one I sent you the poster of.
Yep.
Creepshow 2. The Raft, one of my favorite ones of all time. And the ending, I won't spoil it, but the ending, nailed it. I love it. That's how you end. That's how you end a story.
Well, even like they got the Creepshow with the guy who gets buried at the beach. That's very...
Oh, yeah, that's Ted
Oh,
Danson.
what's that? Liching Hour.
Dancing Man.
I don't know what Dan the Raft was. He put crystal things happened. I don't know. I want somebody to follow because you get to see.
Hey, Liching Hour. How are you?
If you're not following, follow because you'll see something cool. I have it set up. I finally started to Twitch better. So, hello, Lich, by the way. So someone unfollow and follow real quick if you can. I'm just kidding. You can, but it's funny. So what? Oh, bits, it's money, baby. Hell yeah. Money in the bank. I appreciate it. Thanks. I'm glad to see the Lich in the chat. What a true...
Let's promote the Lich.
Yes. So put your... I'll refollow. Thank you. So while he refollows and you come back, go to the Liching Hour, I believe is the channel. And go check out his shows. He's got a lot of awesome stuff. Viva La Dungeon is on there.
Viva La Dungeon. We had a blast.
Yeah, I'm so glad you had fun. I knew you would. That's why, I brought heavy hitters to the show.
Oh, I had a blast on that. Not only was it a fun game to play, and they were really awesome and nice, but, I learned a lot about streaming. What it looks like how you do it right.
Yeah. That's literally...
All the rituals and bells and the raids and the things. It was awesome.
I know.
For a Luddite like me, it was a learning experience.
Definitely how I'm trying to figure out how to up my game. And
that's what I'm saying. It was inspiring. We're going to add that little spice to our ravioli dish here.
Yeah, I do have a nice follow thing. It's very cool. I don't want to talk over it because it's very awesome, very on brand. And I would love for everyone to see it, but I watch everybody. Yeah, I thought, okay. He's probably following, I'm following. Interesting, so now we got dead air. But yeah, so what was the put your, we got, Greedmaw in the chat too.
All
so
right,
I refollowed, but it didn't trigger anything. Dang it! Why didn't it? Maybe because you were already. It didn't pop up as a follower. Maybe because you were already a follower before. You're gonna have to get fresh meat. I'll unfollow and wait a minute. Okay, I appreciate it. It's like every other time we do a stream, we get all these followers, and then the one time that I have it set up for a trigger. Oh, I could test the widget. I could just do it. Yeah, Greedmaw did. So, I don't know, Joey, did you see the Munchie art?
Yes, it is beautiful.
Yeah, Greedmaw did that. I know, we got her on the books for some Neon Lords art. Got to figure out what we're going to do, but, we'll get there. But we started with the Munchie because that is the official it's the official mascot of my life, realistically. It's such a good movie and it's very underrated. I was trying to find stuff online about YouTube videos.
I haven't seen it yet, Bri.
Never seen Munchie. You didn't even watch when I made Jared watch it live on Twitch. You could watch and it's up on YouTube. You can watch the full Munchie movie with me and Jared if you ever want to watch that.
All right.
It's
Don't threaten me with a good time.
We still gotta watch. Yeah, I'm sure. MSTK, of course, did it. I don't subscribe to that kind of baloney. Litching hour. We're not jabronis. We don't watch that baloney.
I watch MST3K.
So like, all right, so I'm not a huge fan of it because the AV club in school was very into it, and anytime
So was it at my school.
yeah, so anytime the AV club had their pulse on that community, I was the opposite way.
Oh man.
I mean, so like we had senior skip day, and so the AV club decided to print out full scripts of Monty Python and the Holy Grail and reenact it.
Oh boy.
Instead of actually skipping, which like I got in trouble for that. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
So I got the blessing. Mama Jude, my mom, let me go. She said, yeah, whatever. But so, like, a good Christian lady, good Catholic that she is, my excuse slip the next day was I was absent from school because I partook in some senior skip day. And so I got in-school suspension.
Oh, my goodness.
I got in trouble, but my mom signed it and everything, and it said, I was I was absent from school because I partook in senior skip day. Like, she was cool with it. Like, it was a thing. But yeah, so I got...
Yeah.
So, but if the parent...
I asked that.
Okay, so as a administrator, what would you do?
If I had a letter from a parent, I wouldn't touch it. If a parent sends a note.
Exactly, right? So, so this is the Party Beholder t-shirt that glows in the dark. You can get it at blackrainbow.com, BLKRNBW. They are the official online store to buy Total Carnage edition of Neon Lords. They have the exclusivity rights for right now. Yep. That's the cool one they sell on, BLK. They got a slew of Neon Lords swaggy swag that you can buy. Please go give him money because we all need it. Boy, oh boy, it's getting tough out there. So that brings us to the end of the summer. It was a wild ride.
We have a number one. You have a number one.
That's what I'm saying. This is my number one is actually a bookend, which was interesting when I thought about this. So my number one is 2 episodes of Pete and Pete. Right?
Oh,
so I'm gonna
dovetail nicely into mine because I know where you're going.
I'm gonna talk first about King of the Road. Like it's the family road trip to the Hoover Dam, right? I believe it's the Hoover Dam. I don't know. Can Clarissa explain this? Hoover Dam, yearly trip to the Hoover Dam, where the dad, it's all dad, and it resonates harder. Munchie Demon.
Yes, it does.
It resonates harder as a father now with the arm out the window scale. That the happier his dad is, the further out his arm is out of the window.
Boy, that's so true.
It's
so true.
Like Pete and Pete, I was just talking to my wife about it before I came on because that was like off the bat, 2 episodes of Pete and Pete where like what is it? I don't know. So this was my number one. I always work backwards, right? Actually, I had 1 and 6. I knew where I wanted to start and I knew where I wanted to end, and then I just had to fill it in from there. But yeah, so they go to the Hoover Dam. It's quintessential summer road trip. It's hot in the station wagon. He sees a girl. He crushes on a girl. That quick. Yeah, that quick because we would camp all the time, and then you would make friends. They were like 2-day friends.
Man, I know.
Yeah, so you ever wonder where those people are, right? So
all the time, man. We were just doing this. We went out to lunch the other day, and my kids were talking about all the kids they've met, on our travels, the weekends at the crappy hotel or something in the pool. If we could remember all the kids' names and the weird things with their families and all that. Where are they now?
Yeah. King of Frode is the thing, right? So the dad has the license plate because he could not get King of the Road. King of Road or whatever. And so they actually find the first-time chatter, Please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe so we can see the awesome animation thing. But anyway, I digress. So they find the actual King of Road, and that's who Pete falls in love with, is the daughter.
Awesome.
And they have you know this episode, I would assume, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and then they have the suitcase stacking competition while driving to try to get, like, whoever has the highest suitcase stack, like, becomes the King of the Road, right? So they end up having to take off all their clothes. And they finally stack it up, which is pretty funny too, because they find that station wagon with a metal detector at the beach. The dad finds a a car, unburies it, and they drive it home. Like Pete.
What a beautiful show.
Yeah, Pete and Pete is childhood to me.
Are you gonna the other one?
The what?
The other episode. Episode.
That's why I bookend it. So like that. So Pete and Pete, these 2 episodes encompass everything. I could literally have done the whole thing about these 2 episodes. So you have the beginning of summer, the trip. Generally, like, you know, your parents got to work, so you do the trip early-ish, I guess. You know, I'm going to pretend just for this like scenario, right? So then summer finally winds down. Then you get to summer, like what we did on our summer vacation, where they try to find Mr. Tasty. So this is a deep episode. I think about this episode pretty much about every 30 minutes of my life. Like, this is everything to me. And so I have it written, the quote. And so he says, "I'm an ice cream man. You know, I'm what the summer is. Fireflies, thunderstorms, butt sweat on the car seat. And when it all goes, I have to go with it." So like it's the tinge in the air, the little cold, that crisp in the air that, you know, that falls right around the corner, and summer's over, school's starting, and the tingle of the ice cream truck will slowly fade away, and it's back to reality, and it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain it. It's like it's the end of innocence in an ice cream.
You don't have to explain it. We feel it. It's that part of growing up in life in general as an American kid. That the season is changing.
And it always reminds me of Chris Van Allsburg, The Stranger. I think that's another thing that pops up. Like the Jack Frost gets hit by the car and has amnesia.
Yeah.
It's an extended summer. Yeah, so
that's such a well done. I mean, that's like the pinnacle.
Yeah, so like the Mr. Tasty episode. Not only like is it to me like the end of childhood and like the starting of adulthood and everything, like the parallels to that, but it's also creepy because the guy never takes his mask off. He talks through it like the Mr. Tasty itself, the enigma wrapped inside of a puzzle. You know, like just who he is, and then it's awful, it's scary, it's creepy, it's the uncanny valley, right? It's like it's getting into liminal horror a little bit, you know, like that fear of the weird, that's so close to reality.
Yep. You don't need anything too supernatural.
No, and then you got, what is it, Michael Stipe? The REM guy is like the gross Slugworth, I believe, Sluggo, because I stole right from that episode. There's Sluggo brand. There you go. There's Neon Lord's reference. The Sluggo brand is ripped from that episode, in case you're wondering.
But once again, Pete and Pete has that filter, that Nickelodeon filter, more than any other Nickelodeon show.
I love Pete and Pete.
Yep.
There's like, I could talk about it. I could go on and on and on. That's what I got to get. I got to get my own. I got to get my own Petunia.
Well, hey man, that's one of the reasons why I got this one.
Perfect.
I said to the guy, I want it on so I can make her dance.
Very cool.
I couldn't copy it exactly, but definitely one of the reasons why I got that Bullfighter.
So
big influence on my life.
Yeah, so I didn't want to really bring it to like a awful. I'm glad I went first because that's like the existential dread of like the end of summer, you know, like just that feeling, that weird that weird feeling of like summer, and then you could feel the inevitable fall creeping in. You can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the unstoppable fall that takes over, and then all of a sudden it's snow, and then we have 12 feet of snow, and I can't get out of the house.
I'm gonna take that idea, and I'm gonna keep it in the summer. Is my number one. Surprisingly enough, remember, folks, we don't plan this together.
We do not.
Is the ice cream truck itself?
Yeah. So
nothing to me says summer more in America than the ice cream truck.
Yeah, I agree. That's like I was gonna put the ice cream truck on too, but then I was like, well, I can talk about it during Mr. Tasty, and I'm glad that's your number one. I know you were an ice cream truck man, so you got skin in the game. And
I mean that's how much it affects us, to the extent where I decided that on my bucket list I was going to be an ice cream man for a summer. And I'll tell you what, it's a very interesting experience to look back on. It was the first time I realized that I had strange goals that I needed to complete, so I could check that box. I always was obsessed with the ice cream man as a kid, like obsessed. It was magical. From the stickers to like the fleeting nature of it, like, oh my God, the bell, run, get there in time, make sure you have a couple of bucks, and then the excruciating making the choice. But then our ice cream trucks too, on the rack in the back, they had all the candy. And it was neat because you could barely see the candy, so it was always kind of a mystery. You'd have to learn from the other kids, like slime slurper. Oh my goodness, what's that? Like, you know, it was always that kind of stuff in the back. So I became an ice cream man, and I got to experience the ups and downs of that. And I won't get into like the sad stuff of like going into the projects and like the kids not having the money, because that was tough too. But the magic of the bell, the power of the bell.
Yeah.
Being able to pull into a neighborhood, and I had the magic control of ring, ring, like the Pied Piper, and they'd all come out. Kids tripping over each other, even adults. In the productions, you have your new cutting edge stuff, but it's one of the only things where you can depend on. They'll always have that snow cone. They'll always have that screwball. And they'll always have the good humor eclair and strawberry shortcake. Yeah,
I know. Like, I think we're in a chat with me, you, Levi, and Ben, and that's where I put that, like, what are you picking from the good humor, like that list?
Yeah. We always had that conversation, guys and gals, about what would you pick from this, like, good humor menu.
So what was the name of your ice cream man truck growing up?
So the company is Flavor King, and it's still in existence. And Mike, the guy who was my boss and has been doing it probably since 1980. He's still going.
Very cool.
Mike, the Flavor King. He's got a fleet, and he would hire college kids during the summer to go out, and he had I think at his height, he probably had around 6 trucks. Because I live by the beach, everybody. Yep.
Ours was Mr. Frosty. Someone just said it in the chat, too. And Mr. Frosty, Mr. John Cabal, he did the Lincolnshire Poacher song playing. And it's notorious now for being the beginning of the Lincolnshire Poacher number station. If you're...
Really?
Yes. Do you know about number stations? Let's get into it.
I know about them.
It's Ravioli After Dark. We could talk about get your tinfoil hats on. But it's not even a conspiracy. It's just a cool government thing that exists. So if you're not aware,
we have to have our friends on again for one of those.
So we should do. So we did cryptos of your, cryptos of your area, neighborhood, or whatever, your favorite crypto. We should do a paranormal one too, like talk
absolutely.
about the paranormal.
West of the Rockies.
You're on the air.
Sorry for interrupting, but that just popped in my mind.
In the Valley of Nye.
So did you have soft? You have soft serve on the truck?
So Mr. Tasty, I do not believe, he might have. I can't remember because I was a cherry snow cone guy. Like that was like my go-to, especially like nothing beats it on a hot day. You got the ice, and then you get down to the bottom, and then you got just that overwhelming, bursting flavor of cherry.
Concentrate.
Yeah, it gets you going. It was awesome. So the snow cone was my go-to, and then when my dad comes up, we just talk about weird like schemes, and he's always like, "Oh, let's get an ice cream truck. Let's get an ice cream truck and drive on." We looked one up to buy, and they're not really that overly crazy expensive. Love to host.
There are a lot
you
of maintenance,
guys.
as Zach said too. There are a lot of maintenance though. They have there's like a lot of moving parts.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a refrigerator on wheels. So you got not only do you have to know like the ins and outs of like a car too, you'd have to know like refrigeration, and I know nothing about any of that. There you go. The Lincolnshire Poachers song, Mr. John Cabal put it in. It is the famous I mean, if you don't know what a number station is, so back during the Cold War, it is believed that during shortwave and AM radios, MI6, Mossad, the Russians would do it. I don't know I don't even know the Russian CIA would put out spy codes, and it would always start with a song or like some kind of like ominous tone. KGB, thank you, an ominous tone, and then a person would come on and just monotonely say a string of numbers, and it's like a one-time pad, like a decoder that like once you would never be able to decode it in a million years, because you would have to know that one-time code to break it, and then it would end with the song too, and it's very creepy to hear because there's like that little bit of static to it that adds like I love that sound. I'll go on like the was it NOAA, like North Atlantic Oceanic station, and listen to the weather, because you still get that tinge of that AM buzz to it.
Yeah, I had a shortwave radio just for that reason.
Yeah, shortwave is phenomenal. That's like a whole nother thing, like a whole nother world that like we lost to the internet, is like the shortwave.
Well, you can still. I mean, I got one from the 1940s. It looks like a Cadillac. The wood, you turn it on, it glows.
Has it got like it's got like an eye, not necessarily an eye, but it's got like a ball, like a light that turns on. You turn it on.
Yes.
That's what we had, and it has tubes in it. It has to warm up.
Yeah.
So we had.
The thing. My tubes are shot. It's not working right now, but yeah, it gets hot. Well, not hot, but you can smell the dust burning on the tubes.
Yep.
And there's this dull glow, and it's all like Art Deco and all that, and like the line is like a lightning bolt, like a Z.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
AM and shortwave, and when I was living in the city, every night I'd go to bed to either that or Art Bell, and I would tune into some strange station, and it's still like it still sounds like World War II on some of those stations. I'm curious
what the if the shortwave radio scene is still around. I'd be curious to know. I'm sure there is.
The ham radio one is. I wonder what I mean. Shortwave is still around. You can still tune into shortwave radio. That's why I miss Radio Shack. You could get little transistor, the little hand radios, and they'd have shortwave on there.
I'm sure Amazon.
Where are you going to go buy a little radio these days?
Amazon.
Yeah.
So I can test the widget. You want me to show you the follow? Because nobody followed us. You ready?
We're bouncing all over the place. This is great.
I know. Let's see if it works.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Beautiful.
I know.
Look, we're big time now.
It looks so good, but like no one followed, so I had to just do it. I know, number stations. Who would have thought we would have ended on number stations?
We went from ice cream trucks to number stations, but that's what we do here on Raviolis for Randy. We're back in the saddle.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it going. We're going to. Look at Dhaka Flock of Flame. There are zillions of inexpensive Chinese radios on Amazon that are made to look like retro radios. I'm getting in that.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
We're going to have you guys on, too. We'd love to have some of our friends in the chat join us again. I think Zach said that we were going to do a crypto part 2. We can work in some supernatural there, but that was really a good time having everybody around the table. And Brian and I will come up with some more topics that we can just go off on tangents for.
Yeah, so we got the what do we call them? The Ravies?
The Ravies.
How would you spell that?
R-A-V-I.
R-A-V-I. Yeah, Father Goose, Dom DeLuise is the voice of Munchie in the movies.
Oh, wow, he's good.
Yeah, Ravies, R-A-V-V-I-E-S.
Yeah, we can do that. Otherwise, it's going to look like Ravies.
It does look like Ravies. That sounds like like an extermination company for roaches. Ravis. R-A-V-V-I-E-S. Awesome. Skunkworks in the chat put up Chinese radios. I know he is. I just want to share. Yeah, it's actually the Munchie. It's the scene in the movie where the kid unlocks him out of the trunk and he jumps out and he's like going a mile a minute and he sings.
$10 for a shortwave.
Someone put that link. You know what we got to do, Zach? While you're here, we should do a Ravioli for Randy Discord channel, and we could put all this stuff in it to where I can go back and remember.
I'm trying to do more in the Discord now.
Yeah, we're getting him into the Discord. So, yeah, we got a couple minutes. Let's just wing it for a minute. You got a minute, like a public one, yeah, so we all can hang out.
Yes, I can stay on for a couple more minutes.
All right.
Before I go up and take care of my family.
I know. I do need to go, and I do have a couple minutes, but I do need to get to work. I have a lot of work I got to do tonight for tons of projects. So, be up all night again. I've been up all night the past 4 nights. Let's wing it.
You drink that hooch. That'll keep you up till the end of the days.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, so I mean.
So in that, let's hear about if in that Discord channel for Raviolis for Randy, we'd love to hear topics that you would like for us to talk about. Make lists. We do lists of 6. That's kind of like our thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do lists of 6.
I'm really curious on how that happened.
I don't know. I think we were talking about like D6 or something. I don't know.
How do I remember?
List of 6 thing. In the past, we've covered everything from action figures to sequels. What else, Bri?
Oh man, so we've done sequels, we've done zombies, we did post-apocalyptic, we did hard like sci-fi, Grindhouse channel or episode. We had Cornford there.
We did Serial, right?
No, I don't think we did a Serial episode.
That might be a good one.
When is the WHPA session? I can't find the date on Discord because we have it written down somewhere. I think I have it.
I have it.
Okay, what is it? It's in August. I know that.
August 10th.
Okay, I'll hopefully remember. I write notes down and then August 10th, 8 o'clock Eastern time on this channel. We'll be playing WHPA. And then, so then tell these people what you got down the pipeline. Let's, we gotta sell some books, right? We're here, we gotta still keep the lights on, we gotta pay the bills.
Alright, so I just came out this week with Tales from Fairhaven Part 2, featuring Brian Shutter and Levi Combs contributing to that. And thank you X-Tech, which is X-Tech Propaganda. They're the corporate tech conglomerate that resides in Fairhaven. So those just came out, and I think I have 1 copy of each left. But don't worry, because after I'm shutting the shop down for Gen Con, but when I come back, I'll have copies hopefully left over from Gen Con to sell, and I will reprint that if I need to. Signal Test just came out from our friend Jared Wan, so look him up online. It is amazing. It is beautiful. I am humbled. It is an extension of WHPA. Really well done. He comes out with great products. I'm working on that. And what the heck? I'll expose my next WHPA project.
Oh, we got a hot lead right here. Breaking news.
Hot lead. You heard it here first. I am working on a more long format exploration of the life, death, and undeath of Sherman Glimp.
May he rest in peace.
Or does he?
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
On the cover of a lot of my products. So we're going to be doing a full exploration. Yep. And Levi Combs has a Halloween zine that's coming out.
I got to. That's on my list of things that
I keep. All right, Rich wants a quick WHPA pitch. Okay, WHPA TV13, Weird Heroes of Public Access. It's a role-playing game where you and your friends are public access hosts that are solving supernatural conspiracies in a small town, a suburb, right before the dawn of the cell phone age. So in those golden years that we celebrated in the time of malls, VHS shops, magic shops,
dial-up internet.
Yep, dial-up internet, pre-internet mysteries, as the friends on This Is Rad podcast say. The character classes are based upon the theme of your show. So you can be like a fitness person, you have like an aerobic show or jazzercise. You could be the tarot card reader, that's the spirituality one. Monster movie host gives you in touch to the other side. And then there's like the variety show. So very simple D6 pool based. And that's the pink one you can get on my Etsy. It's WHPA, the game. And then since then, we've come up with Weekly World News-esque extensions of it that add stories and builds out Fairhaven, the town in which it takes place. All right.
Yeah. So you got
a missing person in Fairhaven, and he's on a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, you got Weird Tales 1 and 2.
Yep. Weird Tales 1 and 2, the June Manifestations, and now Thank You X-Tech, and the Station Manager's Handbook, which is more adventure hooks.
Yeah, with actual monsters in it.
Yes, that has actual monsters. That's a little bit of a darker one. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. So yeah. WHPA is very interesting, and I'm glad that I get to be a part of it. I get some writing in there. Every time I'll jump out and I'll write for WHPA all day because it's easy. It's not easy in the sense. It's just easy because it's like it's that the veil is lifted. It's that step between the unknown and the known. It's when the All Hallows Eve, when the light and the dark touch for just a brief second, and the weirdness comes over.
That's a nice way to put it. I mean, we all have that house in our town that there's stories about, and I kind of wanted to make a game about that. I'm also obsessed with public access TV and shows like Beyond Vaudeville and Prank Calls, so that kind of touched upon that.
Yeah, Beyond Vaudeville, I watch it all the time, and Abby's always like, "What are you watching?" It's like you don't get it. You're not one of us, so go away. You gotta like really like weird public access like Beyond Vaudeville, I'd say. And then like Weirdsville, right? Weirdville is the MTV show that happened. Oddsville, that's right. Yeah. Talk about if you want to see the most awkward people, watch the Blink-182 play.
Oh yeah.
Oddsville. Not only does Blink-182 look awkward playing there, but like the host is awkward. Michael, right, is the guy that sits.
David,
yeah. So David looks awkward. And then MTV. I don't know how this happened. Oh, actually, I watched a Beyond Vaudeville anniversary live show. I think it was at the Philomoka too. Actually, they filmed it.
Yes, it was.
That was very interesting because he talks about all this. It's very insightful to everything. What are the 3 most important books from the game? All of them. Buy them all. They're only $12, $15. But
I'm writing right now. I would start with the core book.
Yeah, definitely. If you're new to it,
June Manifestations is more of an art project that I did. I did 30 paintings for 30 days of supernatural manifestations that come through the airwaves. That would be probably your last one That doesn't have as much information. That's just more like a thought project.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Joey's very famous. So you got that. What is
famous?
You're the DCC. You're the head of. You're like the DCC.
I will be at. Oh my God! I will be at Gen Con. I'm leaving next week, and I'm going to be working the Goodman Games booth and running funnels for them as well. So I'll be there the whole time. If anybody's in town, I will be there. And thank you, Litching Hour. I just got a ting on my phone, so I'll have that out to you this week.
Awesome. So that's the last copies then, huh?
No, I think Lich bought the
the core. Okay. Yeah, any Ninja City on the horizon. Well, yeah, you were actually talking to the there is a Ninja City on the horizon. It's Ninja City Invades Neon Lords but I don't know if he's got anything else besides that on the Ninja City front. I know we are doing a crossover.
Yeah. So Ninja City is my DCC project. It's a DCC reskin where you play an 80s ninja. That's the class, and you get to use DCC spells. It fits perfectly into the Neon Lords world, i.e. Miami Connection, Ninja 3, Domination, that kind of thing. So Bri and I don't have any DCC Ninja City on the books that I'm coming out with right now. I am going to be running some games at Gen Con. There's been some requests. So, with Bri on connecting the two worlds, because I think there's a lot there.
Yeah, there's
really build.
definitely a lot there, especially when prior to us really getting together, I backed Darkest Dice and backed Ninja City, and then it was and then I got it, and I was like, man, this is it right here. This guy gets it, and then that's when we kind of got together. I know you hit me up in between, and we were kind of chatting about stuff on Kickstarter of all places, and then it just kind of
remember that,
it kind of fell through because it was it's hard to hold a conversation in Kickstarter messages, and then
I was really new at all this stuff. I didn't know what the heck.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely the same. So yeah, so it ended up coming together. It was awesome. And then, Joey's got a lot of stuff coming out and out. So,
so do you. What do you got on the horizon?
So, August 15th is the next Kickstarter for... It's a double feature. So, you got Riders of the Burp Warp, which is going to bring 10-ish. 10. So, we're going to unveil some stuff right now. There's a lot of things. So, confirmed. Day one backers will get a free Scratches Sniff sticker. I got the quotes back. Goodness. It's happening. I'm making Scratches Sniff stickers. Finally, they got back to me. Yeah, so they I know the company finally took me serious. I said, look, I know I said mix all the smelly ones together in a big pot and then give me the jambalaya. I'm serious right now, so let's talk. So it's confirmed. I got the green light. Day one backers will get free Scratches Sniff sticker. We haven't figured out what we want to design on it yet. I'm probably got some messages from Moose in there about it because we were just talking about it today. And so that's a thing. And we'll talk about stretch goals. Who doesn't love a good stretch goal? So I got some information on stretch goals for this. I haven't even talked about the books yet. But so Riders of the Burp Warp brings new classes, a ton of new classes to Neon Lords. So we got the Bio Trooper. We got the Rad Scientist, which is a Doc Brown mixes chemicals to recreate spell effects, but uses chemicals on a weird periodic table that you can roll on and stuff. We got the Leatherbacks, are lizard folk from the past that used to rule the planet before the pesky humanoids took over. We got the Stacy, which is the communist version of the Heather. We got the weird wasteland, or what's he called? He's weird something. He's the wasteland druid. I think it's wasteland weirdo or something. What's to do with the front cover of the Burp Warp with the feathers? That is the Leatherback. So they're a South American influenced like lizard men. They're actually lizard men because that's how they downfall. They had no lizard women, so they died out.
Oh.
So like, because I'm not a huge fan of like the men saying lizard, like rat men or lizard men, you know, when it comes to like fantasy.
Yeah.
But I love the term lizard men because of Motu, Joe's, everything had a lizard invasion, right? So like lizard men had to happen because it's an homage to them. So that's how they died out though. So there's a ton of classes. You got the Star Grunt, you got a ton of classes, right? So one of the stretch goals is, I'll say the name. We got the Toxic Barbarian, who's going to be co-written by Mr. Royale himself with me. We're going to work on that one together. And then another big announcement is Humongous Sarungus himself will be an unlockable class. You can be him. And he's going to bring with him the epic, what's it called? Epic class rules to it because there's only one of them, right? And very trauma, because the Toxic Barbarian's weapon in hand is a mop right now. So I'll send you the art. I have the art already.
That's a topic for another show.
Yeah. So Riders of the Burp Warp is that. So then that's one book, and then Warp Shine Runners is the other book that is. It's essentially a abandoned mining colony called Beggar's Ridge that they found these things called weird stones, and it went all to hell. So the guy, his name was Orville Knickenbocker, was the founder of it, and he was obsessed with digging up the weird stones, and it went to his brain. And he built, I don't know, there's a lot to this. There's 37 different locations. One of them is like a haunted mansion you can go through. It's like insanity. And there's a trailer park, a haunted mansion, a Sarlacc pit. Buckskin Joe is a guy out there. There's a four-armed root beer tapper that you can interact with. There's, crashed UFOs, toxic waste. There's a giant dinosaur statue that's an adventure within that, giant hermit crabs. So the giant hermit crabs are a thing in there. So Warp Shine Runners is literally like a cybernetic bronco that is going crazy right now. I've been just crazy writing about it, and not only on top of the 37 locations, there's also an actual adventure in it about a cannibalistic hick redneck clan called the Twain clan, which they harness the power of stargates and are able to bottle the warp juice and make warp shine with it. So that's where the Warp Shine Runners come in, and obviously the government doesn't like it and you have to go wipe them out. That's
the world is lucky to have you, Brian Cheddar. The world is lucky to have you.
Because I woke up because I ran Warp Shine Runners, the beginning of it on a thing, and I woke up that morning and I'm like, Stargate Warp Shine. I just was like, yeah, this makes absolute sense and I love it. So Warp Shine Runners is interesting, and those are the next two big books. And then after, while that's going on, simultaneously we have the standalone game called Escape the Murder Maze coming out, which is a single miniature agnostic Smash TV meets Running Man deathmatch game for 1 to 10 players. So that's a whole nother thing. We don't have the time for that, but that's the main things I got going on. But we have to get to 100 people following to unlock that free sticker. So if you're not following the Kickstarter, please go follow it so everyone gets that free day one sticker. It's gonna be good. There's a lot of cool stuff in the stretch goals. I know one of the so we got regular stretch goals and social stretch goals, and one of the social ones is me and Humongous Sarungus will roast your Neon Lords character. We'll have a list of everybody's characters, and we're gonna do a stream and just pretty much talk shit about them. And then
your stuff is like the cereal box, but there's no cereal in it. It's just toys.
Yeah. And then so the last Kickstarter, you paid $1 to name your character, and this one you pay $1 and I'll kill your character. So I'll write up a way how your character gets killed. Is the dollar dream on that one. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming out. And then so then the next huge book is Deities and Demi-Bros. Like the 300 page, all the gods, all the wrestling gods, all the yes, Planet X has a Halloween zine. I'll write my thing for that.
We'll have Levi come on for that.
Yeah, like I still have like no idea. In the haze. Yeah, in the haze of like what my daily day is of trying to write stuff, trying to figure out, trying to coordinate different projects. Like Levi did talk me into writing something. Of course, there's a Hacksaw Jim Duggan inspired god. He's a demi-bro. Yeah, I mean like, I won't get into the Hell Cell. So like, you ever see the movie? What is that movie? The Immortals, where like. No. So, like, essentially, they, I know it's probably actual, like, Greek mythology, but, like, the Titans are locked up in a prison called Tartarus, right? So then, Mickey Rourke, I don't remember his name, King something, breaks Tartarus, and all the Titans come out, and then it's a huge battle between, like, the Olympians and the Titans. So, essentially, the backstory is... the Savage One with the guys of it's scary Sherry, but I don't remember her name, and I don't remember anyway. So they round up all the deities and demi-bros and lock them in the Hell Cell, and they finally get broken out by I won't spoil it, but there's a wrestling god that breaks them out, and then there's one that actually dies at the hands of the Lord of the Underworld himself kills. I mean, you could probably guess where this is going. If there's a Hell Cell and a god dies in the breaking out process, if you know where I'm going, if you know your wrestling lore. But yeah, so I got a lot going on, to say the least. But yeah, so Deities and Demi-Bros is going to be awesome. Have a nice day. Absolutely, you nailed it. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun book. I can't wait. Like I obviously like I'm writing all the books at like the same time, and I love coming back to that book and just like yes, like the deities. But they will not be statted. I'm not gonna stat gods because like they're unkillable. You can't. That's the one thing I don't like about deities and demigods. Like the D&D one is like they're statted. Like the gods are actually statted. You know, you never stat a god. So it's going to be more along the lines of them, like, their influence over classes. Like, there's going to be the luchador and the wrestling god, or the wrestler class and the muscle priest class. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff in this book. It's definitely, if you're a wrestling fan, this is the book to get. And then, after that, so we went to space. We went to the Wild West. What's after that for a settings book? And I have the name of it. Yeah, I have the name of it. So we go to the Pirates of the Dark Waters, right?
Yeah.
So I have, Pirates. We're doing a Pirates book after that. I gotta look at the name. I can't remember the name of it. I got so many stuff up. Somebody remembers the name. Mutant Mutiny. Pirates of the Doomed Sea is the name of it. And then I already have a class for that called the Plasma Buccaneers. So there's a lot to look forward to in that book. Yeah, so awesome. It's going to be a good one.
Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
Yeah, I just wrote about the Glow Shroom Archipelago.
Oh, sick.
So, it's going to be Neon Lords Pirate Edition. Yeah, so there's a lot going on.
Well,
so look forward.
We'll keep you up to date.
Yep, we will keep you up to date. So let's see. A book will be rated R. So I don't do the R. Like, I don't talk like a pirate. I hate pirate talk. You know why?
Why?
Because nobody knows what a pirate sounded like.
That's true. I wonder where that originally came from.
I know it originally came from because I have this beef. So every year, Alexandria Bay up here does Pirates Weekend. And unfortunately, every year we accidentally go up to A Bay during it. But then there's like, there's privateers running around shooting blanks everywhere. Like you're trying to eat lunch, and there's pirates jumping up on the tables and fighting like the British, right? So like there's like fights and battles going on all around you all day, and all they do is talk like a pirate. And like I got pissed one year, and I started Googling, started doing my research, and I'm like, yep, I knew it. Pirates don't sound like that because pirates didn't know how to read and write. So no pirate has ever written anything. So no one knows how a pirate talks. And it was the Treasure Island movie in the 50s and the book that started coining how that pirate. It all stems from that stinking movie.
You learn something new every day.
Out of just pure disdain for these guys walking around going "arr" all the time, and it's like pirates don't talk like that. Just me and my like pretentiousness, I guess. I don't know. It just drives me crazy for some reason. It's my pet peeve.
I get you. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, Treasure Island. I said Treasure Island, right?
Yeah, Treasure Island. I got to work in the AM.
Yep. We hit the 2-hour mark. That's where it's Bill Johnson's Pirate Day. Yes, I know. Pirates Weekend. It is cool. Kids do like it. My kids like it. And, I mean, blanks are cool. New Orleans back to school. That'd be awesome. That's happening. That's, like, class of Newcomb High. But we could get into all this. But Joey's got to work in the morning. I got to go to work literally right after this, working on some layout stuff. Yeah. Yep. So thank you, everyone, for the chat.
Thanks, everybody.
I don't have my regular Twitch up, so I don't know. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody hanging out. We will be back with more episodes. This one was fantastic. I love hanging out with my best friend. You can't beat it. It's nice out. We had a nice thunderstorm. So everybody have a good night. And go watch, a movie and fall asleep to it.
Three Ninjas.
No, Three Ninjas. You won't fall asleep because you'll be at the edge of your seat.
I'll tell you that. Pete and Pete's on YouTube. You can watch Pete and Pete on YouTube.
Yep. Go watch. What episode was it? Go watch episode what I did on my summer vacation, or what's it called? What we did on our summer vacation. That's the Mr. Frosty episode. That's the height of Western civilization.
That's the one.
So, with that being said, I will put us back to the intro so you guys can watch Humongous Rungus one more time. And have a good night. Later.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh feels better in life. With mental fresh and full of life, nothing gets to you.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Brains, attitude, sleaze. Oh, greetings, human filth. Are you tired of the same old lame old tabletop game? Don't be sorry that you got stuck in the game of life, playing some lame-ass game that leads you down nothing but chutes and ladders to bring you to some mamby-pamby candy land. That's right. I forgot my lines, but I don't care. Because you know what? It's time for you to take some risk in the game of life. That's right. It's time to break the monopoly of tabletop gaming. It's time to get balls deep into the most action-packed 80s extravaganza that dice could roll across the table. If I even had a table. That's right. Sharpen up your sword. Load up your weapons. Lock and load. Whatever you gotta do. Fucking pound some crack. Smoke some fucking cola. Get ready to fucking shoot, stab, blast, kick, punch, beat, whatever, mangle your way through the wasteland as you get ready for the baddest tabletop game since something that I can't say because I'll probably get sued. It's time for you to dive balls deep into the neon lords of the toxic wasteland. That's right, human filth. I am Humongous Fungus of your Rogus, honorary scumdog of the universe, and I am here to tell you that you can get in on this Kickstarter and you, might even be able to play as me. That's right, it's the only game out there where you can maybe even play with me as me as I play, with myself as myself. So check out the Neon Lords of the Toxic Wastelands Kickstarter. Check out this badass book. I'm sure half of it's gonna disappear because of the green screen. I mean the wasteland behind me. Look at all this awesome stuff that I can't read because I'm an idiot. And hooked on Chronic. It worked for me. So the phonics thing, I don't get it. But still, check out the Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. The most badass tabletop game since the tabletop was invented.